Grand Rising. I want to say thank you to my brother Slay 10K for the sweatshirt. And also my brother, 432 the drop for the beanie here. Just wanted to, Most High kind of bring a couple things to memory, to my mind here when you look at this $880 million settlement. What religion pays their clergy to assault their children? I mean, if someone was going to assault your child and they, we're going to have to probably pay for this later on, would you pay for that person to assault your children? I mean, most sane people would say, no, I wouldn't even want them to assault my children, first of all, but then to pay them to do it? Wow, who does that? Let me see here. We have a church that really doesn't have any money except for what they stole originally from us, and then they maintain it they get more money from the vassals that give them money every single month, and they use that money to pretty much give you hush money for what they did to your children. So that kind of sounds like your religion is the only one that actually pays the people that assault your children. You actually, prepay, was it like a prepayment plan or whatever else, where you guys prepay, because they got all this money in reserves, so they already have it just sitting there, and so they're pretty much just you just paying to have your children assaulted by your church. And only that, then you also allow them to not have to actually go to jail and actually pay. I mean, is that all the people have to do, is just pay money in order to be able to get away from their crimes? Then how come, you don't offer that to other people? How come rich people, that are, Negroes or whatever else, they don't get to just pay their way out of it? They actually are going to have to go to court. They're actually going to have to, be, judged from their peers. They're going to have to be dragged to the dirt. They're going to have to be, shown, and talked about all the things they did. But you don't have to do that. You get to just use the money that was given to you by your parishioners, and you get to pay off people. And but then you seem to think you get to continue to be in some kind of a holy, authoritative position. See, that's what you guys always do. Like this dude who's the head of our archdiocese in LA says, oh, well, in my letter, I said, I'm going to make sure I reiterate that I promise that this won't happen again. So why, if you were the ones who have been covering all this stuff up for decades, hundreds of years, why would we trust you? What have you done to earn the trust of the people that you wouldn't allow this to happen again? Of course you're going to allow it to happen again. This is your blessing. This is why you guys get away with all the stuff you do here. Because this reality, this matrix is your blessing. And people who have made a covenant with you, your vassals, they gave away the right to, accuse you in front of their peers, because they are considered second-class citizens. And it's all making so much sense. So anyone who is, being quiet about this and not saying anything about it and allowing it just to happen, you are confederate with this system. You're confederate with you paying to have your children assaulted. And people are going to say, of course, oh, that's just ridiculous, that's preposterous. But that's exactly what's happening. The Catholic Church has all this money, but they don't get it. They don't do anything for it. It's all given to them, and it's all given to them by the people that's their children they're assaulting. So it's just kind of something to think about. But these people are going to somehow be the ones in a position to teach you how to make it to heaven. I mean, the whole thing is that they've already had their heaven. That's what, our 1%, we were going to your churches, listening to your pastors, listening to your priests, because we were under a strong delusion that you guys, had our best interests at heart, that you guys, were trying your best to lead everyone to heaven. But all the while you had excluded us from your church. So therefore, the fact that we're excluded means that the judgment that's coming for you guys right now has nothing to do with us. We were never joined to your church because that was a very exclusive club that we were never allowed to join. That's why when people were asking, it's talking about scripture and this and that and canon and books that are canonized, I'm like, well, that's you. That's stuff that you guys did. You're the ones that have pretty much made the whole world into a whole situation where no one understands anything. No one understands, like, what's going on in scripture right now. No one understands what's going on in prophecy right now, all because of you, all because you have hidden books, hidden who the people are, and now the Most High is exposing you. And it's a beautiful thing to see how the Most High is exposing you, how this battle is going on in the spirit realm, and you are being utterly destroyed. You guys are in such a horrible position right now. I mean, pretty much like I said, you're being exposed, and the vassals are just stuck in the middle. They're stuck with having to pretty much just take whatever it is that you're giving them at this point. It sounds great that you're coming up with $880 million to pay for these victims, but really it's your parishioners who have given you money to pretty much assault their children. And you're just giving the money back as hush money so that you can still dictate the terms. You always dictate the terms of, just like history. You dictate the terms of history. You dictate, like I said, what I talked about before. In World War II, would you ever look at, the German point of view, a German soldier's point of view about what was happening with Ish? Of course you wouldn't. But see, us Negroes are forced to listen to the history that you've given us. You have gone out of your way since 1502, started with chattel slavery, to write history, and you always write your history as you are the top of the top. You are the most moral people. You are, you're always the hero. You're always Superman, and we are always, at the bottom. We're always the adversaries. We're always the ones at the bottom that have to be destroyed. We are the ones that are crazy, the ones that are sex crazed, the ones that are this. And that's one thing that's hilarious, that, you guys are always talking about us, and, you're worried about like how we are. We're gonna do this to your women. We're gonna do this to you. All the while, you've been doing exactly the same thing that you were afraid of us doing. You've been doing it for 500 plus years. You did that to us, but you've also been doing it to your vassals. And an ultimate slap in the face is that you're making your own vassals pay for you to assault them. Just something to kind of think about right there. I mean, it just shows you how really messed up this whole situation is, and this whole society is. Much love, family. Shalom.